You're pregnant. During the medical clearance for a female arrestee, we ask if they've had unprotected sex in the last 3 days. We don't ask men this. It can come across as personal and rude, but we ask because we offer Plan B if they want it. I start off the question with this reasoning to avoid dirty looks. A female has to be ovulating to become pregnant, so there's only about a week out of every month that this can occur. While fertilization can happen quickly, it often takes days, while the sperm are just hanging out, waiting for ovulation. Plan B delays ovulation and prevents pregnancy even after sex has occurred. It's almost 90% effective when taken within 72 hours, so we offer it. While it doesn't harm a pregnancy if fertilization has occurred, we still do a pregnancy test beforehand, because if they're already pregnant, there's no point. I'm assessing a female who is here for domestic violence. Her boyfriend was arrested as well. They're in their early 20s, and it's both of their first arrests. She's tearful, and the arresting officer is shrugging and kind of rolling his eyes. It turns out this was largely a verbal fight. The neighbors called the cops. The boyfriend pushed her, and she threw his phone at him. Apparently, physical contact and the desire of the other to press charges are all that is required for an arrest. They were both angry and said they wanted to press charges, so they were both arrested. No drugs, no alcohol, just a couple 20-year-olds living in an apartment trying to figure it out. She says, "Yes, and I would like Plan B, but she's too distraught to pee in a cup." I let her know we need the pee to give her the pill, so time is of the essence. She says it's fine, she's probably not pregnant, she just doesn't want to right now. Plan B aside, all females are asked by medical to pee in a cup when they are arrested. Our job is to keep people safe while locked in a cell, and the protocol changes if they're pregnant. They get vitamins and extra milk. Most females refuse in booking. I don't think they're against it so much as they just want to say no to something. When you're arrested, almost all of your power is taken away. You don't have a lot of say in what happens next, and much of it is humiliating, like stripping down and having someone look at your butthole while you cough. I'd probably say no to peeing in a cup too. Every booking nurse I've worked with asks this question, almost always gets a no, and says, "Okay," and moves on. I always take a beat here, though, and pause. Take a deep breath. I'll look up from my computer where I'm charting and look at them. You absolutely don't have to, I'll say. But they'll keep pestering you about it every day, so if you do it now, it'll be a quick no, or if it is a yes, you'll get vitamins and milk and an appointment with the doctor the next day. Maybe 25% of the time they'll agree to pee after this explanation. This time, though, it's a hard no. I medically clear her for jail and create a task for the next morning to collect urine for a pregnancy test. The next morning, I happen to be covering a shift on the unit and see her in there to ask for her urine. She says no, she doesn't want to pee. I say, "Even if you just peed, all we need is like 3 drops, and then we can leave you alone." She takes some more convincing and then pees while I wait. I test it while standing outside of her cell. She is pregnant. I tell her, and her face goes white. "What?" she says, trying to process. "It's positive," I say. "Do you want to see it?" I ask gently and hold it out for her to see. Her whole body starts shaking. The nurse I'm working with says, "Okay, moving on." I wait at her cell, though. "Do you want to talk to mental health?" I ask. "I can schedule an appointment." Okay, she says. "Can I talk to my boyfriend?" she asks. I look at the other nurse. I usually work in booking and don't really know the rules here. "Definitely not," she says. "They're both in custody." I want her to have her mom or her sister, if she even has a sister. I want her to have access to the internet so she can research all the questions that must be spinning in her head. I want her boyfriend to know. I want her to not be alone going through this. The nurse looks at me and says, "We have pregnancy education printouts at the nurse's station. I'll show you." I tell this shaking young woman I'll schedule her an appointment with mental health, the doctor, and she'll be provided printed education. She nods. 3 other females I pregnancy test that morning, all of whom required convincing to let me test their pee, are pregnant. None had any inkling they were pregnant. 2 seemed wholly unaffected by the news. As a human being, I don't believe it's possible to be wholly unaffected by news like this. And I wonder what has been a part of these women's life experiences so far that would elicit this response. I quickly decide this wondering is not a good use of my thoughts. And like my coworker suggests, I move on.